This comes from the House Judiciary Committee. Testimony reveals FBI employee who warned social media companies about hack and leak operation knew Hunter Biden laptop was not Russian disinformation. That's what I got for you today. So let's get into this. On July 17th, 2023, the House Judiciary Committee and Subcommittee on the Weaponization of the Federal Government conducted a transcribed interview of Laura Deemlo, the Section Chief of the FBI's Foreign Intelligence Task Force. During her transcribed interview, Deemlo revealed that the same FBI personnel who were warning social media companies about the potential Russian hack and leak operation in the run-up to the 2020 election knew that the laptop belonged to Hunter Biden was not Russian disinformation, which we've known this for years. So let's keep going. After the New York Post broke a story based on the contents of the laptop about Biden family influence peddling, the FBI made the institutional decision to refuse to answer direct questions from social media companies about the laptop authenticity, despite months of constant information sharing up to that time. Put simply, after the FBI conditioned the social media companies to believe that the laptop was the product of hack and dump operation, the Bureau stopped its information sharing, allowing social media companies to conclude that the New York Post story was disinformation. So you see here that the FBI, and they call it conditioning. They good at bribing, that they paid social media companies to make up information and say it was Russian disinformation when it wasn't. So you see how this is all involved here. Some of my videos, if you go back and look, you'll see the other videos that I made on the laptop from hell. The Post published its story in early morning on October 14th. The same day, representatives from the FBI Foreign Influence Task Force attended a previously scheduled meeting with Twitter, during which a Twitter employee asked the FITF about the authenticity of the laptop. According to the Section Chief Demlo testimony, an analyst from the FBI's Criminal Investigative Division embedded in FITF began to respond that the laptop was real when an FBI lawyer interrupted to say that the FBI had no further comment regarding the laptop provenance. Now, here are some of the questions that they've asked during the hearing. Are you familiar with the October 2020 New York Post story on Hunter Biden? I am. Do you recall whether any of these social media companies you were meeting with asked you any questions about it? Answer, I do. Question, and what was your recollection? Who? So I remember having a conversation with, or being involved in conversation with Twitter, and I honestly can't recall if this was repeated to me. I might have been a few minutes late to the meeting, or if I was actually overheard it, but it was relayed to me that somebody from Twitter, I don't recall who, I'm not sure who, somebody from Twitter essentially asked whether the laptop was real, and one of the FBI folks who was on the call did confirm that yes, it was, before another participant jumped in and said no further comment, which that was the attorney. Do you recall who from the FBI said it was real? I do. And who was that? It's a non-senior executive service employee. I'd have to take that back. So let's see what else goes on here. Later on October 14th, the FITF met with Facebook. During the FITF Facebook meeting, Demlo responded to a similar question from a Facebook employee about Hunter Biden's laptop by stating the FBI again had no comment. That's what the FBI is good for. No comments on anything. The FBI made the decision despite being in possession of the laptop and having confirmed its authenticity. According to Demlo, multiple personnel on FITF knew that the laptop was real, that she testified. Here's some more questions that was asked to her. Do you know who else the FITF knew that the laptop was real? I don't actually. I would assume both my yes. I would certainly say that the FITF Section Chief Brad Benavides was aware. Question, what about the individual in the Russia unit? Answer, I would assume that the unit chief was also aware. I'm pretty certain of that fact. Question, for the individual, DOJ counsel, just to clarify, do you know to a certainty that they were aware, or are you just making deductions? And the answer, I'm pretty certain that they were aware. Now, these are from Demlo. What's her name? Demlo. Oh, in hours following the publication of this story, Twitter blocked the story from being shared, while Facebook de-amplified the story, significantly reducing its circulation and prevalence in users' newsfeed. as the federal court in Missouri versus Biden explained in damning language that the FBI's action prevented millions of Americans from having a clear understanding about the salient issue in the 2020 presidential election, because everything they did interfered in the 2020 election. No in-depth or buts about it, and they want to blame Trump and everybody else for interfering in the election. The FBI's failure to alert social media companies that Hunter Biden's laptop was real and not mere Russian disinformation is particularly troubling. The FBI had the laptop in their possession since 2019 of December and had warned social media companies to look for a hack and dump operation by Russians prior to 2020 election, even after Facebook specifically asked whether the Hunter Biden laptop story was Russian disinformation. Demlo of the FBI refused to comment, resulting in the social media company's suppression of the story. As a result, millions of U.S. citizens did not hear the story prior to November 3rd, 2020 election. Prior to the presidential election in November 2020, the FBI never formally revealed that the laptop was real, and the FBI's possession, as Demlo testified to the committee, had the Hunter Biden laptop story been a product of an actual Russian disinformation campaign, FITF would have been fully authorized to warn the companies of such a campaign. But if there is a foreign malign influence operation, and we've got specific details about how those actors are propagating information operations, influence operations on the platforms, that's something we could share the specific details of. Instead of refusal, FBI officials, the very officials who knew that the laptop was real, to verify the authenticity of the laptop, allowed widespread censorship about otherwise accurate news story. Now see here, this is what we're getting at. The FBI's covering for the Biden administration again before he was even in the White House. So you see here, the House Judiciary Committee is bringing up a lot of information that is showing the truth, and these liberals don't even want to believe it when it's said right in front of their face and giving them the facts of the story. Hunter Biden laptop was real. They're not Russian disinformation. They've been making all this stuff up like the Democrats do. They make stuff up all the time. They've been making stuff up on Trump since day one. Since before day one. And they're doing it again with this other possible indictment. Fabricated bullshit. Then you got Marjorie Taylor Greene. Whips out naked picture of Hunter from his laptop, and the Democrats went nuts. Should we be showing this stuff in here? Because they don't want the truth out. They're showing him doing illegal drugs with prostitutes that he paid for with his law firm's money out of their account, and these people are freaking out. This just goes to show they're still trying to do the cover-up. This demented fool is half asleep talking to I don't know who it was, the Israeli president or something like that. He can't even stay awake. He's got the head down going like this and normal in all of his words. This man is shot out. He needs to be in a nursing home. They need to invoke the 25th Amendment immediately, and then don't worry, they'll be able to impeach Harris with no problem. But this is more on the Hunter Biden laptop again. So let me know what you guys think. Leave questions, comments below. If I get more information on anything, you know I'll get it out to you. Follow me on Rumble at Chasu, C-H-A-S-U. And I'll leave a link down here for my YouTube channel. You can follow me on there too, but I'm putting my videos on YouTube. But my main place is Rumble. So as soon as I get some more information, I'll get it out to you. In the meantime, this has been the Country Conservative. I'm Charlie, and I'll see you next time.